You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What up, Cosmic Girl? What up, 400? How y'all doing today? It is Thursday, y'all. You know I'm off of work. It is 5 o'clock. Not really, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So, yes, I have my little drink. I got my water, as usual. You know, I got to have my little drink, my little water to quench my thirst while I be running my mouth talking to y'all. But, hey, everybody, come on in. Make sure you like and share the video. Please and thank you very much. Yes, that part. But y'all see the picture I got on the screen here? I saw this picture circulating around for day 12 of the Diddy trial, and I had to steal it because I could just picture Diddy sitting up in the court just like, I can't believe all these motherfuckers really snitching on me. Right, judge, you're not gonna judge. Don't listen to that shit. They playing on my top, judge. I didn't do all that. I can just picture Diddy just looking like, man, these motherfuckers. If I ever get out of here, man, today was some shit, y'all. Day 12. 400. You said a friend texted me from work today and said the same damn thing. He is looking so bad. 400. He is looking so bad. I was like, what? Woo-wee. He is looking so bad. It's so ridiculous. I mean, like I said, he'll never come back from this. Even if he gets off, he'll never come back from this. Like, he's just so despicable, so disgusting, so I mean, the shit that he was doing to people. But on the flip side, again, he was allowed to do so much for so long. And when you're allowed to do so much for so long, do you stop? What was it? What was one of his slogans? Can't stop, won't stop. Wasn't that one of his slogans? One of his songs, one of his, can't stop, won't stop. I guess this is what he was referring to, maybe. He can't stop whooping bitches' asses. He can't stop defrauding people. He can't stop trafficking. He can't stop. You hear about all the employees who he still owe money to? And he would threaten them. Bitch, I ain't paying you shit. The fuck out of here. I mean, the coercion, the extortion, can't stop, won't stop. Child, power in numbers. Absolutely. Whew, it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of shit. I was talking to my homegirl the other day, and I was like, man, if I had so much money like some of these people have that just allow themselves, not others, but allow themselves. Others might be complicit. They might be enablers, but you are allowing yourself to take yourself down. And all the money that you're making going to court lawyers and going to pay off victims and all this kind of things, it's like, it's so sad. I know rich people get bored, but damn, I don't think I could ever get bored being rich. Even if I just laid around on my ass being lazy for weeks on end, I'm just like, fuck, the shit has got to stop. But yes, what up, KJ? We about to get all up in the recap, okay? In the recap to the recap, right? So let's first of all, yesterday, and don't forget to like and share the video. Feel free to hit the Cash App if you want to donate to the commentary. But first of all, as far as yesterday, excuse me, as far as yesterday, remember when we was trying to figure out what the hell does SCIF mean? And I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna even try to figure it out. If y'all figure it out before me, y'all let me know. I'll let y'all know. So anyway, overnight, I figured out the acronym that Diddy's attorney Agnafilio was using. S as in Sam, C as in cat, I, F as in Frank. Stands for Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility. Remember yesterday he was asking the judge, can they like have permission to have that facility later into the night, at least till 10 p.m., because they're getting out of court around 4:35, and they need time to, work with their Diddy. They need time to speak to their client. So we was all like, what the hell does that mean? So yeah, that's what it means. It's basically a facility. I guess it's private, something like that, from what I can gather. But they said it was used before by Josh Schulte, excuse me, CIA leaking case, and they want to meet there with Diddy till 10 p.m., like nightly after court. So what they're saying is there's an issue with the MDC and their union allowing people to work late so attorneys can meet with their clients. So they do not have much time with him when the trial ends because it's already 5 p.m. when court is over. And sometimes they finish at 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. Now, what somebody else suggested was maybe they should grant bail or hire someone because Diddy is literally fighting for his life and he does not have a lot of time allocated for him to speak to his lawyers after court. Most of the times you go to court, if you're in a situation, you speak to your lawyers after court, things like that. If you're free, of course you have more time, but he's not free. So they basically saying that anybody fighting for their life, fighting for their freedom, should reserve the right to meet with their lawyers overnight if that's what the lawyers want to do. Because the prosecution, they say, get months, sometimes years to build a case with no expense spared. And so the defense should be allowed the same liberty. So that's what that acronym stood for that we was trying to figure out yesterday, okay? Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility. Basically somewhere really safe, somewhere really secret, not secret, but basically safe to where they can speak about anything without nobody hearing them or whatever. Okay? So that's that on that. You said they do it all the time. Hey, Sis Low, what's up, girlfriend? And thank you for the super sticker, KJ. Thank you. I appreciate that, boo. Thank you so much. You said Tupac. I said Tupac. I said Tupac. Tupac getting his payback. Diddy is evil, y'all. I swear to God, Diddy is evil. Like, is the devil really in hell or is the devil on earth? Okay. You said you cleaning up and going back and forth from phone to TV. All right, boo. As usual, when I finish, I'll, allow y'all, if y'all want, I'll drop the link if y'all want to sit up here and chit chat. But otherwise, when I finish, it's a wrap. I'll just see y'all the next day. But you said, them rumors of him being involved. Yes, I believe it, though. Now I know it's alleged, but when you hear this shit weeks and weeks of him putting his hands on people, pulling up on people, bombing cars, I mean, is it that far-fetched? That nigga think he better than anybody. Like, he is indispensable. Like, he is... He said the devil's in the White House. Oh, that's where he at. Okay, all right. But yeah, so yesterday, y'all know we heard from Nash, right? So we heard from Nash, and basically he testified to what a lot of other people testified, see it, witnessing Diddy, go ham, eggs and bologna on Cassie. And then also, he also spoke about how he had even put his hands on him. Um, he testified to the trafficking. Nash, he was a stylist, so he was around both him and Cassie a lot, and he helped. He even helped work on music production, which he said he didn't get paid for, by the way. But yeah, so Nash, he testified the other day, and I thought he was a man. I thought he was a character. Okay, I was like, oh my god, some of these people that Diddy worked with, or basically, should I say, work with him, or that he worked with, they worked with. Some of these people are some characters. Like, I think I would have had so much fun hanging around these people. They seemed like when they came to him, they were real vibrant, real full of life. Looking forward to making career choices, moves and stuff that they haven't done before. Probably looking at Diddy as, not just a mogul, but maybe as a mentor, somebody who can help me get to the next level, shit like that. And then only to find out that they're working for a monster. A monster. So now we had on the stand Nash the other day. We had Capricorn the other day, and then we had Mia. I think is it Mia, Maya? I don't know. It's a acronym. So basically, she don't want to be known by her real name, but the judge was shown her passport. They couldn't show it to the jury. It's private information. It's sealed. So the judge could see her name, could see her picture, her passport, and everything to verify she is who she says she is. Because anybody can come up there saying they somebody, right? If you can't prove it because they're not giving you your real name. So that's who we got on the stand today. Now, Mia, or Maya, basically, she used to be a former personal assistant to Diddy. And she testified today that she was sexually assaulted by Diddy, endured a work environment that she described as violent and toxic. She said there was really, really highs, there were really, really lows, like Diddy was bipolar. And she testified to the sex trafficking, the racketeering, and she worked for him from 2009 to 2017, and that her role included reading his mood each day because it dictated everything. So we are going to go through the transcripts. Okay, y'all ready? Yes. He destroyed so many lives. So many lives. All the money that he has, like the 400 million that he has left, because remember, he had a billion before, he had to serve time and go to jail and hire lawyers. And he had already lost 600 million. He's down to 400 million, which is still a lot of money. But 600 million is also a lot to lose. But yes, he destroyed a lot of life, and I mean a lot of lives, and I think they should, equally split that shit up if they find him guilty. So let's start at the top, y'all. And every now and then I'll read the chat to see what y'all got to say while I'm reading. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. You said how are these people able to work? I don't know, KJ. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, shit. I don't know. I'm not good with. Uh, I'm. I'm not going to say I'm not good with authority. I'm not good. I'm good with authority, but I'm not good with people who abuse their power. I'm not good with that. I don't care if it's a parent. I left home early and was on the street for years. Okay, because I don't deal with people abusing their authority. Okay, and some of y'all done heard my story before. I left home. I was house hopping, couch hopping for years. Okay, because I didn't want to have to put my hands on my parents. I didn't want to have to end up in jail. Because I'ma just walk away. And we spent some years apart, me and my parents. Then years down the line, we got back together. Things were better. Things were cool. Me and my mother got back close again. We were cool all the way up until she got sick and passed away. I was there at her bedside every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you have to love people from a distance. So if I'm not cool with that shit at home, I'm definitely not cool with somebody abusing their power over me anywhere else, the workplace. I don't give a fuck. Okay. So anyway, so this morning, before the jury walked in, Alexandra Shapiro, which y'all know is Diddy's attorney, says the articles in the scrapbook are not being offered the truth. Now, you know, Deontay, when they did the cross, Deontay Nash, which was the stylist, basically, after him, it was Maya, and she wants her scrapbook in to impeach her. I'm like, they trying to get the scrapbooks in to impeach her. Child. You know, yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Diddy's attorney tried to get a mistrial. Like, they have no defense. They have no defense at all. If y'all been watching me or anybody else, y'all know by now they have no defense. Okay. All they doing is doing crosses, cross after cross after cross, trying to get a mistrial, trying to get everything thrown out, objection, like, you know, just all throughout the trial so far. But anyway, they said the article says that Diddy wanted to get to the bottom of Biggie's murder, but the feds are investigating us. They've been trying to get this in. The judge says if it went back into the jury room as evidence, it could be prejudicial to the prosecution, but to let the jurors look at it as a demonstrative. If they flip through it, now this is the government. If they flip through it, okay. If it's passed around, we want a limited instruction. Then the judge says, who is going to be cross-examining Mia? Diddy's attorney says Mr. Steele. So Diddy's attorney, what if we redact the part about Biggie's murder? The judge said it's more than that. You concede the articles are not relevant to this case. If that's the scrapbook, if that's the scrapbook was put together. The judge says you've been given some leeway. I'll leave it to you. Diddy's attorney still says, I don't want to waive the issue. Thank you. The judge, the social media post, there's an objection. I overrule it. The text messages, my sense is there are parts in the threads that are hearsay. The government, they are trying to show that the defendant was going through some heavy shit, and that's why he was asking this way. The judge, what about her smelling her own armpit? What? Okay. The government says, I don't think that's relevant. The judge says, okay. Oh, Lord Jesus. So the government at 8:55 this morning, the defense sent a slew of messages about Deontay Nash. They should be excluded. The judge, Mr. Donaldson, what are these? Diddy's attorney, Donaldson, we want 2 photos in. The rest are for impeachment. The government, I was told the photos last night was fine. All this back and forth. This is before court, y'all. The judge said, bring Mr. Nash back in and then our jury. The government says, we rebooked this witness's flight for 2 p.m. Remember yesterday, his flight was supposed to leave at a certain time. They didn't want to pay for him to come all the way back there. So they rebooked his flight for 2 p.m. today. And they're hoping he will be off the stand in time to make that flight. All rise. Diddy's attorney Donaldson, he's the first one. He's going to be talking to Deontay again. How are you? Blessed. Remember that's how he started off yesterday? He said blessed. The exhibit 1806, text from you. Diddy's attorneys, what was Capricorn Clark's role in 2011, the mixtape? Nash, she was gone. What did she work on when she was there? Maybe the photo shoot you guys showed yesterday. I learned a lot from Capricorn, actually. Do you recall a picture of Cassie in green hair? That was a group idea. I walked the carpet with Cassie in New York at the VMAs. It was a curated look. You had to get approval? Yes, from Diddy. You say Diddy was kicking Cassie on the ground. The unfortunate eye gash incident, correct? Yes. You didn't tell the prosecutor she was kicked while bleeding. They didn't ask. I only answered what they asked. You know Cassie was in a relationship with Kid Cudi while she was in a relationship with Diddy. Oh, okay. You didn't know? I thought she and Diddy had broke up. Cassie was in South Africa. You were at the Revolt conference in Miami, correct? Yes, I was there to style Little Kim. So you Yes, I put her together with Michael B. Jordan. I mean, he fine, she fine. Why not? What? This dude is going all off the rails. See, that's one thing that people have been complaining about. How they've been let the prosecutors, like witnesses, they've been letting them go all off track, just saying all kind of shit, right? Like, what the hell does Michael B. Jordan and Kim gotta do with anything if you hook them up? But anyway, the judge said, "Hold the fucking press." The judge said, hold on to your love." So, Diddy's attorney says, "So Gina was in Miami too?" No, you don't put that on me. They kept me away from seeing Gina. Cassie got upset. Remember Gina was allegedly, well, she was with Diddy. She was a younger girl who Diddy was creeping with while he was with Cassie. And I don't even want to say creeping because he did whatever the fuck he want, right? Let me read some of y'all comments. Oh, yesterday, KJ. It was the mistrial was based on DNA because the prosecution tried to allege that somebody in the courtroom who was testifying, maybe the person who worked for the LFPD or the person who worked for the LAPD, you know, the investigators of the crime scene of Cuddy's car being blown up, they tried to basically say that somebody in the court got rid of evidence, got rid of the DNA evidence, which eluded a partial fingerprint that basically was female. So they tried to get a mistrial, and the judge said, "We ain't having it. Not today. Not today." But yeah, that was yesterday. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see. Make sure. Yeah, I'm like, what the armpit smell got to do with anything? The prosecution was, you know what? You say he never did Suge Knight like that. He sure the hell didn't. And if Diddy gets convicted, will Trump free him like they say? They say that he will pardon him, Sislo. That's the word on the street. The word on the curb is that if he get, convicted, then he will pardon him. Trump was probably at a lot of those parties after hours, allegedly. So, Gina, the one who also allegedly got pregnant twice by Diddy, and he paid her like 20, 30, 50,000, something like that to get rid of each kid. That's who they talking about. So again, Diddy's attorney says, "So Gina was in Miami too?" No. You don't put that on me. They kept me away from seeing Gina. Cassie got upset. She said, "Why does he keep humiliating me in my career?" She was upset? Not really. "You set her up with Michael B. Jordan?" "Yes." And Mia drove it home, making sure he had his number. So a bad boy employee set her up with Michael B. Jordan. That's right, Michael B. Jordan. Don't mess that up. Do you know Andre Branch? No. You were aware Cassie was in a relationship with Andre Branch? Oh, the cute football guy? Yes, but I never met him. And in 2016 with Brandon of the NBA. Sorry. Um, Damn, she was with some heavy hitters, huh? But anyway, they said in these texts you talk with Cassie about Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. He is cute, but that I don't know that nose and them. I don't know. I can do the lips, but I don't know. Anyway, no shade, no shade. Handsome black man. You say no one better say shit to me. LY. What is LY? Love you. Or maybe it's a typo. LY. Know everything? I don't remember. I'm sure we were being antagonized by your client. Referring to Diddy, of course. Diddy's attorney. Cassie was upset by Gina. She say, "Girl, let's go out and do our thing." Do what she wants you to do? Actually, we are both pretty chill. Stayed in the house a lot. But that would be fair. Let's read these messages. You do the blue. Nash says, "Okay, now remember Nash, for y'all who might be just coming in, he's the stylist for Diddy and Cassie." Nash says, "Oh, you got some names in here." Donaldson, the attorney, says, "Just go ahead." Nash, where are we going? Donaldson, secret trip out of town. Y'all following me? The attorney is reading the opposite of what Nash is reading. So Nash is reading what's in blue. So the attorney of Diddy says, just go ahead. Nash, where are you going? The attorney, as Cassie. He's reading as Cassie. Secret trip out of town. Nash, girl. Nash, good friends don't pry. That's not my method. I just replied, girl. Diddy's attorney, highlight the green part. Cassie is telling you October 30th, 2013, after the incident with the cut on the face, she says, I've already been turning up too much. And then Diddy's attorney says, you say you saw her with a black eye on FaceTime around the time of the Intercontinental. Nash, I saw it in person. When her makeup would wear off, you could see it. If, Judge, please let Mr. Donaldson answer your question. Okay. There again, Nash is trying to go off the rails. So the judge is saying, please just let the attorney ask you the question. Diddy's attorney, you read these. After Cassie says this N is wasted, which I'm sure is probably like this nigga is wasted. We both did the same. Nash says, is there a lot of people there? Oh, it's talking about a Gwen Stefani song. Diddy's attorney, he said, take your broke ass home and ride into the sunset. Nash, and we did. Diddy's attorney, did she mention to you about having threesomes with other men? No, she didn't tell me that. Mr. Nash, read that to yourself, then lift it up. On May 10th, 2025, you told the government the videos came from her phone. This is getting good. Nash says, no, I told them that he would tape her on her phone. Diddy's attorney, isn't it true she said videos were from her phone? He would record her on her phone. I stand firm on that. You say, Diddy said, you won't do this one thing for me, yes? Child. Diddy's attorney goes on. You said you saw Diddy pointing in Cassie's face in the Blind Dragon, right? But you never told the government, right? The first you said it was at a trial. That's the first time you said it, at the trial. Nash, I guess so. I gave them very little by phone. She said she didn't want to go. The attorney, you helped pick her clothes for court? She couldn't fit anything. She needed new clothes. For her pregnancy? Right. On the Friday after she finished, she called you and said, I'm done. Nash was like, it wasn't like that. Diddy's attorney, did you get Cassie super high? Nash, what? No, I did not. There the judge go again. Mr. Nash, just answer the question. So Diddy's attorney says, this 29th birthday, you say she packed sex toys in her duffel bag from the bedroom, right? Correct. Diddy didn't say grab the sex toys. Nash said they were going. Diddy's attorney, on the golf cart, let's talk about Las Vegas, New Year's 2016, 2017. You said you were told Cassie was sleeping all day. Correct. Then the attorney puts up exhibit 1847 for the parties only. So not showing everybody. What's this? Nash says Cassie. Diddy's attorney, the low budget producer you mentioned was there, right? Nash says, yes, right next to me snoring. Diddy's attorney, you say Cassie told you another man was coming over and asked you to leave. Nash said, both of us. Your reaction was, Nash said, yes. Like, okay. Diddy's attorney, you saw a man walking around, knocking on the door, and they let him in? Yes. There were not drugs, right? We were doing them in separate places. Once I started working, I just started going. I was packing my 10 body bags. Then they went to a hotel again. She didn't tell you she didn't want to go, right? Actually, she said she wanted to stay home, work on her music. Okay, read that in green. Nash, enjoy y'all time together. Y'all don't get much of this. Diddy's attorney says, that's you telling Cassie in January 2017 to enjoy her time with Diddy, right? Nash says, yes. Cassie wrote, I spoke up for myself. And you wrote, you wish you were with them on vacation. No, I meant in Mexico, not with them. Cassie wrote, the next room is on the beach. This one is off the golf course. I have everything organized. Nash, I wrote, laugh out loud. Do you have all your shit together? Do you have a lot of shit together? I'm sorry, I read the transcripts, and when they have a typo, it throws me off. I'm sorry. But I think it's supposed to say, do you all have a lot of shit? Okay, that's what it's supposed to say. Do you all have a lot of shit? And Donaldson, the attorney, reads as Cassie, yes, but we made it all fit. I was like, hold up, that just don't sound right. But anyway, Nat said, girl, you always on vacation. And let me read some of y'all comments and take a drink. Quench my thirst real quick. I wouldn't be surprised, KJ, when you of that high of a status and that filthy rich, yeah, yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him. What's up, Just for the Facts? Just the Facts. How you doing? Capricorn and Deontay Nash testimony supports the prosecution's claims of Diddy use of intimidation and violence in a criminal enterprise. I think the government proved that well. I absolutely agree. Hey, Khaled, how you doing, love? Long time no see. And then KJ said, I bet you the Michael B. Jordan hookup was orchestrated by Diddy. I bet Diddy wanted access to him and was planning to go through Cassie. Good speculation. Yes, just the facts agree. 400. I know Diddy got a lot of info on people. Oh, absolutely. You already know. You already know. He would snatch phones from his employees and read their messages. Remember when they testified that when he couldn't find Cassie and he thought that they might have been hiding her or not giving him information, he would demand to see their phones and he would go through their text messages. Child, you said the sidebar. Objection. You said just the facts trying to hold me in contempt. Y'all know what? So Diddy's attorney says, you stayed in touch with Diddy? Yeah, because he was cutting up. Oh, I get it. You did a seafood thing with Cassie. Nash, correct? Okay, Exhibit 1814. You know Kim Porter, who tragically passed? Yes. You knew Andre Harrell passed? Yes. You text Diddy to make sure he was okay. That's correct. Diddy wrote to you, the trainer. You could have given me a heads up. Oh, hell no, we ain't back to the trainer. You know that's Cassie's husband. Diddy was jealous of anybody. He was jealous of anybody. I know probably when he sees Cassie and she got 3 kids by some other man after he was with her for 11 years or so, I know he still be like, ugh, that bitch. But yeah, so anyway, other people, and I said this before, other people knew she was messing around with the trainer and nobody told Diddy. So Diddy said, the trainer, you could have given me a heads up, black heart emoji, because Diddy did hire the trainer to be her personal trainer, right? And, get her in shape. She was already all super small, so I don't know what the trainer was for. Maybe to train them to have stamina for concerts, maybe? Know how to control their breathing and shit? I don't know. Or maybe it was to keep up her stamina for all them freak offs. Mm-hmm. Anywho, so Diddy said black heart emoji. How is she? And he was referring to Cassie. And Nash said yes. Diddy's attorney. In 2020, you wrote to Diddy, I love you. Anything you need, I got you. Yes. Diddy won an award that year. You congratulated him? I don't think so. I asked how to RSVP to his party for someone else. Claire Sumners. I don't know who that is, y'all. If y'all want to look that up. Claire, last name S as in Sam, Ulmers. Claire Summers. I don't know who that is. But Diddy's attorney said Cassie told you about a secret trip. I object. That's from the government. They don't do it often, but they objected. The judge sustained. Diddy's attorney, you deeply cared for Cassie for 15 years? Yes. She kept secrets from you? And I do from her. We don't have to tell each other everything. Diddy's attorney, nothing further. And the judge offers a redirect to the government. You said he lost Lopez to a dancer. Child. And I bet they all were treated so much better. They probably got into them other relationships like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Like the allegations about the gun and Lopez and how he made her allegedly hide it and put it in her purse and all that other kind of shit. Like, this man just got, did he have y'all hip? They was drinking the Kool-Aid. They was drinking the Kool-Aid. You know, somebody said today, I read somewhere somebody said today, it was like as if Diddy was running a cult. That's what somebody said today. Do y'all agree with something like that? I don't know how far I would say a cult, but hey, he was running something. Running everybody. Sure, but okay. So, the cross comes from the government, and it's Maureen Comey this time, the government attorney. Why were you afraid for her? Nash, things could get very violent fast. What devices did he use to film her? Nash, hers. You said they appeared high at the 29th birthday party. Yes. Was Diddy in control of his actions? Yes. What? Diddy was controlling his actions? I can't believe that. Mm-mm-mm. I'm sorry. I really do have to flip back and forth from my browser to see the StreamYard and then back to my Word document where I have all the transcripts. So I'm like flipping back and forth trying to follow y'all in the chat as well. Excuse me. But hold on. Let me get back over here. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the attorney Maureen Comey. She said, you said they appeared high at the 29th birthday party, Nash. Yes. The government attorney. Was Diddy in control of his actions? Yes. And what did you say? You're going to get some fucking dick tonight? Did she want to go? No. No further questions from the attorney. Donaldson, Diddy's attorney? Nothing from me. The judge, Mr. Nash, you are excused. So on that day, one thing that keeps coming up on her 29th birthday party, the thing that keeps coming up is that Cassie, when she testified, it was one of the days where she was forced to have a freak off on her 29th birthday. I wouldn't want to do that on any day, but it was her 29th birthday. And I guess she feel like, fuck, it's my birthday. Can I take a day off, boss? Like, mister, can I take a day off, sir? Sure. And then somebody else said it was like he was running slaves or he was running like a slave camp or a cult or, some shit like that. But anyway, so some people have been verifying and corroborating that story that he forced her to have sex on her, birthday. And so Nash was saying, you going to go get some dick tonight? And he said she didn't want to go. So yeah. So that was the end of Nash. Now we call Mia M-I-A. I don't know why they spread the M and the I out with dashes in between, but you said take that. You know what? 400. Just the fact that a person who is impaired, whether they do drugs, alcohol, or any condition affecting judgment, cannot legally. Absolutely. Say that again for the people in the back. A person who is impaired, whether by drugs, alcohol, or any condition affecting judgment, cannot legally consent to sexual activity. Impairment voids consent. And a lot of that was done. A lot of times she was so high, she didn't know who she had sex with or what she had done. And when she found out, she expressed how embarrassing it was, how shameful she felt. But Mm-hmm. Code behavior. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Yeah, that's what they were saying. It was like he was running a code. And everybody in the code was like doing everything that he said and keeping things that he did that were out of line or illegal, keeping it secret. You said it had to be something more than money keeping them around and coming back for so long. Mm-hmm. Cassie and Mia never consented. Yep. I wonder how much of the industry knew about Cassie's daily activities. You know, Diddy bragged. You already know. If you can do all that and some, you know people already know. But here's the thing, KJ. I mean, we even heard Cat Williams and other people talk about it. Oh, we don't fuck around at the Diddy parties. This was before all this shit even, got this big with the allegations and the rumors. People was talking about his parties for years. Oh, we don't fuck around. As soon as the after parties, because when they have celebrations like the VMAs or the award shows or this or that, music release, whatever. They have like after parties, but it's the after party. The after party to the after party, right? See, when you listen to these songs now that we hear, just like when we listen to a lot of the R. Kelly songs, we see things a lot differently. Okay? It's the after party of the after party. You don't go to that one unless you looking child, unless you're trying to be involved in the freak offs. And you ain't gonna be there just watching. No, boo-boo. I think the only one who was allowed to watch was Diddy. Watch and record. But I think if you went to the after party, you did have to participate. I can believe that. Mm-hmm. You said embarrassing having side affairs with the sex worker. It's so confusing. Yeah, I agree. Everyone knew they should have come together and press charges years ago. Too many folks allowed this mess. Enablers with a capital E. Enablers. So let's get to this new witness. Excuse me, the one who's going by a pseudonym, which is Maya. They said this is what the judge is saying. The next witness will use a pseudonym. There's to be no recording. Witness come in. So Maya comes in. The government says, how do you wish to be identified? And Maya says, Maya, M-I-A. The government said, don't show this exhibit. What is this? My passport. So basically, Maya identified her passport for the sake of the judge, them knowing who she is, whatever. This is her real government name, but nobody else could see that. So the government says, show it for the jury only. Diddy's attorney says, I would like to see it too. Diddy's attorney said, I want to see, bitch. The government, where are you from? Virginia Beach, Virginia. And who is this? Sean Combs. And what did you call him? I worked for him as a personal assistant, then as a director of development and acquisitions for Revolt Films. How was it working there? Puff's mood changed all the time. Was he violent to you? Yes. He's thrown things at me. He's thrown me against the wall, into a pool, ice bucket on my head, slammed my arms into a door, and he sexually assaulted me. The government says, sexually assaulted you more than once? Yes, more than once. And let me take a drink right here. Okay, the government says, did you want to be in the arts? Yes, this was before social media. I thought if I put my mattress on my car and drive to New York, I could do it. I went to work for Georgina Chapman, red carpet dressing. Then I worked for assistant to Mike Myers. How did Diddy hire you? I met with a recruiter. I met with HR and Tony Baez Fletcher. Did Diddy interview you? He at his apartment. He was on the phone wearing his underwear. What? Hold up. Hold up. So you went to an interview with Diddy at his apartment. He was on the phone walking around in his drawers, and the human resource lady left you there with a man walking around. Can we say enablers again? The HR lady left her there with Diddy in his drawers. But at least he put on his clothes. The government said, did he put on clothes? Maya, yes. Ain't that weird? Like, we can't meet at the office? Anyway, so the government says, did you get the job? Yes, I was excited. How much did you expect to work? A lot, but I didn't fully understand. How much were you paid? $50,000. What did you do on your first day? HR told me I was on trial for 2 weeks. Where did you start? His Alpine, New Jersey house. I was there all day. Then where? Back to the office for a few hours more. Then I was told Puff wanted me to come to the studio. How long were you there? Until 1 p.m. the next day. Damn. You know what? Speaking of which, I saw somebody else say, how did Diddy survive off of no sleep when he was having these free calls 4 days a week and running around and traveling and doing this and doing that? They was like, how did this man, even that probably added to his psychoticism or psychoticism or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, she said she was there until 1 p.m. the next day. Then where did you go? Puff's apartment, then home. How fast did you have to return? I didn't take a nap. I didn't want to risk it. How much did you sleep during your first 24 hours on the job? I didn't. I took it as a challenge. There had been a TV show. This is Maya talking. There had been a TV show a few years before called I Want to Work for Diddy. Y'all remember that show? Mm-hmm. And she said it was like that. How did you deal with the lack of sleep? When I was young, I tell myself, you can sleep at 3 p.m. Objection from Diddy's attorney. Judge overruled. The government, how long did you stay up once? 5 days. I take Adderall, extended release. I could quasi-function and stay awake. When did you go to sleep? My hearing went and my equilibrium was off. Blurred vision, lights that weren't there. I cried. Were you then told that you could sleep? Yes. By whom? So she had to stay up 5 days in a row, taking Adderall, till her equilibrium was off, her hearing went, blurred vision, seeing lights that weren't there. And after 5 days, Diddy finally told her she can go to sleep. The government says, why did you stay awake that long? I was working. Okay, so the government introduces some exhibits. And they said this notes from the transcripts. Took a minute for them to get all the exhibits. Yes, 5 days, Cosmic Girl. Can you believe that? I think the longest I probably stayed up was 2 days. Besides me like being in labor, with my 2 sons, of course you gotta stay up for them. But just because I want to, I think the longest has probably been 2 days, a day and a half, something like that. But that's a meth trip, you child. And so the government shows the exhibits, which are under seal, so can't nobody see them except for like the jury. Diddy's attorney says we renew our objection. The judge said admitted under seal. They try to renew their. Okay, so then the government says, Maya, what is this? It's a list of my responsibilities I sent to Tony Bess Fletcher on November 10, 2011. Puff has said, I don't know what you do all day. So Puff has said he didn't know what she does all day. So she sent a list of all her responsibilities to Tony Bess Fletcher. So the government says, let's focus on a few things in this document. Please read this, Maya. Maya says, all of Puff Daddy's social media press. Well, I just figured that out because it actually said all of PD social media press. So I just figured off my head it means Puff Daddy. But of course, the government has to ask for verification for the record. So she said, who is PD? Maya says, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy. I wrote main liaison between PD and Hollywood. Did you do that? BlackBerry 24/7. So she handled all his social media presence. She was his main liaison. BlackBerry 24/7, setting up appointments and schedules. Maya had wrote, anticipate his moves. And the government said, why was that so important for you to write that? It dictated my day. You wrote, every day is difficult. Maya said, and that he could ask you to crack his knuckles or do his taxes. He asked her to crack his knuckles or do his taxes? The government said, did you have an apartment? Yes, in New York City. Were you there much? No, my roommates joked they lived with the ghost. In LA, where did you stay? In the staff house, then in Puff's house, 9933 Beverly Grove, then 9374 Beverly Crest Drive, then 200 South Mapleton. In Miami, 2 stars. So the government says, could you leave? Only with Puff's permission. Once I left at 2 a.m. after he was asleep and I got in big trouble. What happened? Security called me to say he was sending them to find me. Ain't that the same thing they used to do to Cassie? Mm-hmm. It was at the first LA house, 2009 or 2010. Were you allowed to lock your bedroom door? No. He said, it's my house. Before I even continue, don't that sound like your parents? This is my house. No one locks the doors in my house. So it wasn't really my room. That's what she said. Y'all hear this shit? Diddy said, this is my house and nobody locked the doors in my house, like he talking to his damn kids. So she said it wasn't really like her room. The attorney says, but did security get to lock their doors? Yes. One had a deadbolt, another had a keypad. Well, I guess the security got to keep themselves secure, right? Even though they probably was the only ones with weapons besides Diddy. Maya says, I was told they were actively hiring other assistants. The attorney, government attorney. How long to Malcolm, the assistant who was there when you started your stay? Maya says 7 or 8 months. Were you the only one then? Yes, for like a year. How did you feel? I didn't have time to feel. It was insane. Puff gave me a pep talk like we were a team. He said, I need a second brain. So she doing everything from cracking his knuckles, being his liaison, handling his social media, filing his taxes, and he tells her she need a second brain. The government says, did he hire more? Yes, eventually, but I still felt like I was responsible. You got punished in various ways, getting cursed out, my intelligence assaulted, and my job threatened. Who did those things? Puff. Who is this? That's George Kaplan. He was another assistant for Puff after me. What was Revolt Films? Puff and I started it together. Yeah, remember she was half owner. They said she was half owner of Revolt Films. So she said Puff and I started that together. The government says, were you still performing personal assistant duties? Yes. How much did you get paid? 70,000, then 100,000. They were supposed to be bonuses. Did you get them? Nope. And on that note, the judge says, let's break. Whew, child. He owed her 170 stacks. Let me read some of y'all comments. Okay, you said this may go down as kidnapping. Oh, he already did that to who was it? Was it Capricorn? Yeah, they had already kidnapped Capricorn and kept her for 5 days. And then he made her stay there for 5 days. So we already got the kidnapping from a few days ago from Cap. But yeah, I hear you on that. You said meth tweakers are the only folks I'm aware of who do that shit. Do y'all think that they are making a RICO charge though? I think so. Yeah, I absolutely do. Excuse me. He ran an empire. He ran a company. They did illegal drugs. He made people buy illegal drugs. He made people hide and conceal his illegal activities. He threatened people. He blackmailed people, blacklisted, blackballed, extortion. It's a lot. the prostitutes that he would get flued in and flued out to have sex with people. Yeah, I mean, hey, mm, mm. I guess it's just a different way of being a mob. I know some people have mentioned mob. I see somebody say mob in the chat. Somebody was like, you know what? Diddy reminds them of a mob. Like they describe him in so many different ways. As a cult leader, narcissist, monster, devil, mob, like different things like that. Mm-hmm. You said that's my dilemma. Yes, a lot of people are wondering, like, what's up with the RICO charge? Like, I see that a lot, but I also see people saying, and I'm not referring to y'all in the chat. I'm just saying what I see on the blogs and social media. But some people are saying, but they still haven't said anything or proved RICO. And it's like somebody said, are you listening? Are you watching? All the things are adding up to a RICO charge. I think the government knows exactly what they're doing by having all these witnesses verify and confirm and corroborate each other's stories. And these people, the time they spent with Diddy was so crazy at times, you can't forget. Like, I cannot remember what I did at a job 10 years ago, unless it was something big that I did with like a friend, or there was a party, or, I got fired, or you laid off, something like that. But these people remember so damn much. And they all corroborate each other's story. And that's one thing I was saying at the beginning, before this trial even started. The main attorney was like, we're going to weed through everybody that we think is really not honest, just here for a payday, for a bag. People who are not consistent. If you told us something happened at 4:55 at a concert or in a parking lot or such, can you show us proof of your receipts, your plane, your train, your car, your hotel? Like, they said all that before the trial was started, that they was really going to weed through and interview each person, and that they would probably drop off a lot of people. And they had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and they ended up with only 30 or 40 out of all those people who came forward. So I'm hoping whatever they got up their sleeves or got left in the bag, that they'll bring it home. I really hope so. Cosmo says, I don't know. I don't think RICO is easy to prove unless you have a number of co-defendants. I don't think they just got one defendant right now. They don't even have a defense. You said it sounded like Maya was being hazed. Oh yeah, like they do to like some college students. Well, she said that was around the time of the TV show Who Wants to Work for Diddy, or so that could have been a haze. She said it was around that part or something to do with that. So maybe that was like being hazed. That sounds right. You said, damn, 2 days, I'm going in at 12 hours. You said you're going to sleep after 12 hours. I know that's right. RICO became a theme because of the mob. Then the government used it for drug dealers. The government has to prove systematic lawbreaking based on collaboration with others. You have to consider Diddy's personal assistants, security guards, chefs as unindicted. You know what? They're supposed to have Chef, what's her name, Jordan? They're supposed to have Chef Jordan testify too. I believe. That's what they were talking about the other day. But it said the feds will ask them to testify or be co-defendants. It is clear which option they have selected. Diddy's case is a RICO because it's just not about one crime. It's about a pattern of serious crimes like sex trafficking, witness tampering, drug distribution. Oh, we ain't gonna discuss the witness tampering. The threats that people have received ever since he got arrested. Organization, yes. So far, I'm not hearing that. We need to see phone laws and other communication that prove that Diddy was operating a criminal organization. They have a lot of phone records. They have a lot of phone records. With almost every witness, they bring up dockets and exhibits of phone records, but a lot of them came from Cassie and from the assistants. Yeah, but I think they are moving in the right direction. I really do, even though they said they don't have too many witnesses left. I think I don't know because it's like okay, everything that we have seen and heard, but what literally has the defense done? They haven't proven too many lies. They haven't proven they tried to get a mistrial. That I mean, what are they have? I don't understand the mind of the defense. Somebody said Diddy is paying too much damn money for his job for his team to not be defending him. They're not defending him at all. All they're doing is cross-examining people, and they're not even making the people look bad. I mean, if anything, they're making the people look like they were too scared and terrified to tell Diddy no or to call the police or report him. That's basically what's going on here. I don't understand what the defense is thinking. I don't know. Mm-mm-mm. Yep, and you might be right, Cosmic Girl. You might be right. We shall see. They said they should wrap this up by July 4th. So we got a whole month. A whole month. And they did say at the beginning that it might go through July 4th. But then again, I don't know how if they saying they're almost done with their witnesses. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yep. And you might be right. Again, you might be right, Cosmic Girl. Some people disagree though. They agree that they're already been proven Rico. But, so after the break, they came back after after the break, they took a break. And let me go back. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so we ended with Maya supposed to have got $70,000 and $100,000, which were supposed to be bonuses. They asked her, did she get them? She said no. So after the break, they showed her another exhibit, GX2A401. They said, who is this? She says, Cassie. How did you know her? Working for Puff. We became close friends. Still today? Yes, still friends today. How was their relationship? Highs and lows, unequal. That's what Maya says. The government, was there violence in their relationship? Yes. We'll get back to that. What was Diddy's role with respect to her career? Maya says he decided on everything, the shows, the look. Exhibit 3T107R. What is this? Maya says an email from Cass to Puff and others, including me. The government says, when did she send it? It was about 4 a.m. It says 7 a.m., but we were in Cali, so it was one of their hotel nights. What did she write? She was canceling, apologizing to Interscope and others. Did Diddy respond? Please read. Maya reads, Cassie wrote about telling Slevin Hill, the attorney. What did she mean, do you think? Maya said, Stephen Hill. Oh, they spelled it wrong. They said Stephen Hill of BET. Yeah, Stephen Hill. Okay, I remember him. Stephen Hill of BET. Cassie wrote, no support, no show. The attorney says, why did you forward this to Tony Fletcher? Maya, I had to keep her informed. She was in charge of booking hotels. Did you ever see Diddy on a movie set? Yes. Everyone would be very, very nervous. He would insert himself. What was his role with respect to Cassie's appearance? He was in charge of it. Did you have exposure to Cassie's finances? Yes. How? I learned the company paid her credit cards and that the places where she lived was under his company names and her cars. Government said, did he take things away? Yes, cars, jewelry, and support if he couldn't get her on the phone. Maya continued, he keep tabs on her through me. What is part of your job to spend with Cassie? Okay. Was it part of your job to spend time with Cassie? Maya says, yes, I had to do whatever Diddy told me to do. Could you go wherever you wanted? Nope. We had to be where Puff told us we could be. And if not, something very scary. The punishment was unpredictable but terrifying. The attorney says, we'll talk some more about that as we get through your testimony. How would Diddy communicate with Cassie? Maya says, sometimes through me. Did you see violence? If so, what kind? Maya says, I saw a lot of aftermath and injury she had. I see him attack her and throw her on the ground. I see him like crack her head open. I seen him chase her. Things like that. The attorney says, did she fight back? Nope. The attorney, what did you hear and see? Maya says, suitcases being thrown into the foyer. Did you see Cassie after that? Maya says she was outside crying in a bush. She looked terrified. She gestured, I'm hiding. I'm not here. And the government said, what did you do? Maya says she retreated. Did you tell anyone? I think the chef was in the kitchen. The sentiment was like, and then Combs' attorney, objection. The judge sustained. The government says, what did the chef say to you? Objection from Diddy's attorney. The government says, not for the truth. The judge says, sustained. The government attorney, what happened in Cassie's apartment? Maya says, we were there. Me, Cass, and Deontay Nash. What were you doing? Helping her pack for a big trip to London. Puff came banging on the door, very irate. How did he get in? A key from the front desk. What was Diddy asking Cassie? He said, have you been drinking or something? She hasn't answered his calls. The government said, what did Diddy do? He came after me and Deontay screaming. Has she been drinking? He was crazy aggressive and he attacked her. Maya said he threw her to the ground. Me and Deontay jumped in. This is what Deontay was describing yesterday. He said we jumped on his back. But Maya said me and Deontay jumped in and tried to stop it. What did you do? Mia said Deontay is very small in comparison to Puff. There was a little tornado going on. And he had Deontay in a position where I was scared he was going to kill him. Damn. Maya said, so I jumped on Puff, but he threw me off and against the wall. I felt like I was in slow motion. I'm sorry. I am not laughing. I'm not laughing. It's just funny how she's explaining it. Okay, so she said, I felt like I was in slow motion. I realized we were in big danger. He ran into the bedroom and grabbed Cassie. Under her bed is the wood bed platform. He slammed her head into the corner. So that's the bed he slammed her head on that they were talking about. So he slammed her head on a wooden bed platform into the corner. And the government says, what injuries did Cassie get? Her head was gushing blood. What did Diddy do? He got into protector survivor mode. He said to call doctor. Remember the other day? Nash said, oh, I'll just get you a surgeon. So he told them to call a doctor, the doctor's name, and told them Cassie was drunk and hit her head. Why did you do it? Puff said to. Maya said his eyes were black. It was like he was looking through me. He was like completely, Judge, let's get to the next question. The government attorney. Did you see Diddy take drugs? Yes. When he was high, how did he appear? Sometimes the life of the party or hyper. Where was this? Ibiza or Burning Man or music conferences? The attorney. When he smashed her head, did he seem high? No. Did you go to Prince's party? Yes. What happened the night before? A big award ceremony suite in the Beverly. He told me to stay with Cassie, that he was going to be at his house with his kids. And then I heard about Prince's party. What did you do? Cass and I debated like little kids if we should sneak out the house and go to Prince's party. Maya said Prince performed on a little table. Then I saw Puff come in with his bucket hat. We locked eyes. I thought, oh crap, Cass just booked it. And the government said, where did you go? Maya said across the street there was woods or bushes, but Puff called Cassie and had her on the ground. Maya continues. Puff started to attack her, but Prince's security quickly intervened. The government says, and later? Maya said, I went to the hotel. The next day, HR told me Puff was suspending me without pay. Did she say why? That Puff said I was being insubordinate. The judge says, let's take a break. So she was being insubordinate because she wanted to go to a party. And as a grown-ass woman, you should be allowed to go to a party but you get fired even though he owe you $170,000 because you went to a party and he claims it's insubordinate. And let's not forget, he told the doctor that Cassie was drunk and bumped her head. Mm-mm-mm. What up, OG? Hey, OG, how you doing? Everybody, make sure you liking and sharing the video. Please and thank you. Please and thank you so much. Now, hold on. Let me go back and read your comments. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's say, Cosmic Girl. If you ask the host, I can share my screen and show you who the government refers to as co-defendants. That's great. Just the facts. I'm not sure if she will do that, though. You can ask her. I certainly would like to know who the co-defenders are. Hey, yo, what up, OG? Because without them, this isn't a RICO case. OG, you get strong when you get that drink in you. Mm-hmm. It's something about liquor, huh? I have to admit that I have gotten a little aggressive in the past, and I mean way back in the time. Okay. Might be in the club, female step on my nice kicks, my shoes, or whatever I got on. Bitch, you just step on my foot, excuse you, hoe. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Or just any type of situation where you out about, you drinking, you like, I don't know. It kind of take you up a notch, give you like superpowers. You feel like you got superpowers. Not like I can't go from 0 to 100 without liquor, but something about that liquor, it makes you bold. It makes you courageous. Okay, sure. You could be a shy ass person, and then next thing you know, you're the most friendly person in the whole room, the most outgoing character in the whole room. But yeah, that liquor can do something for you. That's why people say, don't let that liquor get you fucked up. Don't let that bottle get you fucked up. Because the thing about it is, your ass can get hit too while you drunk and be gone. Just gone. Like somebody called a doctor. Nope. Somebody called a coroner. They gone. Something about you getting hit in your head and stuff like that while you're drunk. It just, your head, the liquor, yeah. But yeah, yes, he got an HR department. Yes. Yeah, for bad boys, he got an HR department for bad boys. Yeah, that's who they were working through. Uh-huh. He said what he said. Where's the line drawn between victim and accomplice? That's what I'm talking about. I mentioned that it's like a lot of people were enablers. A lot of people were complicit. That's why some of them is going by what I can't even say it. You know what I'm talking about. And some of them signed so that they wouldn't be prosecuted on anything that they testified to. Some of them used their Fifth Amendment. One of his assistants used their Fifth Amendment. And that's usually how it goes when you have these type of situations. Oh yeah, I'll testify, but you got to make sure you don't charge me for no shit. Mm-hmm. Don't charge me for a damn thing. But yeah, a lot of people were complicit, or they just turned their eye. Like when she said I retreated, she was hiding in the bushes talking about I'm scared. I'm not here. Don't say nothing. And she was like, fuck it, all right. And she walked back in there, but then she got fired the next day. So, but anyway, so during the break, the jury leaves out, and the judge asks Miss Smyser, which is the attorney for the government, how much longer would Myers direct? The government attorney says the rest of the day. We'd like her off the stand by the end of the week. So Diddy's attorney says this is a problem. First it was a flight, now this. The judge says, I have not cut anything. Now this is why I'm on break again. So the judge says, I let Mr. Donaldson take the time he wanted. Diddy's attorney says, I am not blaming the court. It's a pattern I'm seeing here. The judge said it's common courtesy. Diddy's attorney, I don't know how long Mr. Steele's cross will be. They don't know. They don't need to put these things on the record. The judge says, if we complete this witness this week, fantastic. It keeps things moving. The government attorney says many of our witnesses are flying from across the country. We need to know for flights next week. Monday. Mr. Nash's cross was twice as long as the direct. The government attorney, Mr. Steele told us he anticipates his cross being an hour and a half or 2 hours. I'm not even longer than direct. Not to hold him to it. So basically, they said in no event longer than the direct. I'm not trying to hold him to it. The judge says, I want to keep things on schedule. Diddy's attorney, how late will we be going? The judge said the latest 4 p.m. That was all on break. Now Maya's back. Prince performed on a little table. Then I saw Puff come in. Oh, we already saw that. Okay, I'm sorry. I already read that. Hold on. Okay. So then the judge says break. All right. So after they come from the break, the government is still talking to Maya, and they says we have subpoenaed your Verizon phone records. Ms. Gallegos has agreed that if Your Honor finds them admissible, you can give them to us and we to them. Diddy's attorney Gallegos says that's fine. The judge said, let's get Maya back. All rise. Everyone enters. The government asks Maya, you were speaking about violence between Diddy and Cassie. Have you traveled to Turks and Caicos? Maya says yes, to Parrot Key twice in 2012, me, Puff, and Cass. What happened? I was sleeping in my bedroom and I was woken up. Maya says, Cass ran in saying, you gotta help me. He's going to kill me. And what did you do? Maya said we started pushing furniture in front of the door to try to block him. Puff was banging and screaming. I had a porch that went out to the beach. We ran. The attorney says, what do you remember about running? Maya says, I remember being amazed that even while running fast, we could be attacked by bugs. What the hell? Hold up. Let me take some water. She said, even though they was running fast, they was getting attacked by bugs. Did you run another time? Maya says, I have another visual of where we were hiding, of trying to escape like 2 separate times. Maya says, we got into paddle boards and went out into the water. Puff was on the beach screaming at us. It was flat and we went out far. Puff got smaller and smaller on the beach. The sky got dark. And Diddy's attorney, objection. The judge overruled. Maya said, we went back. Did you ever call police? No. Why not? I believe Puff's authority was above the police. She said, I believe Puff's authority was above the police. She said, this was before social media and the hashtag #MeToo movement. There was no examples of people standing up. I thought it was under the confidentiality deal with Puff's business. The NDAs. The attorney says, what's this? A photo of Cass eating a hot dog at the premiere of her movie, The Perfect Match. She has bruising underneath her makeup. I took this photo. Any other injuries covered up on the red carpet? Yes, at the Cannes Film Festival. What injuries did you see? A busted lip. She was injured. Where were you? In her hotel room with Larry Sims, her hairstylist. Did you learn how she got the injuries? Cass had an audio recording of Puff attacking her. How did Cassie sound on the audio recording? Objection from Diddy's attorney, overruled by the judge. Maya says, panicked. I heard the sound of someone getting hit. Did you go to events? The premiere of Brad Pitt's movie, Killing Them Softly. The government says, what happened at the premiere? Puff was digging his nails into her arm and talking low. What would Diddy ask you to do? Take care of her. I bring her Arnica jail. For what? Her bruises. Okay, the attorney says, let's turn to December 22nd, 2011. Maya says, at Puff's house, the mood was darker than normal. This was more of a Puff was upset. What did he tell him? That Cass had been talking to somebody else. Who? Kid Cudi. How was he? Maya said he seemed heartbroken. It was ominous. Did I say that right? Ominous. I never witnessed Cass to do something to really cause him to be upset. I felt something bad would happen. Did you say then to her? Maya said, in a black car with Capricorn Clark. The government says, did you reach out to anyone? Yes, I did, to D-Rock. Exhibit 3T112. What is this? Maya says, my emails with D-Rock. The attorney says only the redacted one into evidence. Objection from Diddy's attorney. The government says he was security. The judge said, with that foundation, admit it. The government asked Maya to read the messages. I wrote to D-Rock, I'm worried about P. This feels different. Hit this email when you get it. Love you. The attorney says, were you romantically involved with D-Rock? Maya says, definitely not. That's just how we talk. The government says, let's discuss or let's talk about the hotel nights. What was your role? Maya says, I would sometimes take them there, unpack, set up. I would have to just be on call, essentially, and clean up before housekeeping. What would you bring? His lotions and potions. Maya says Astroglide, as we are all too familiar with. You know, I didn't know what Astroglide was before this trial, y'all. Ah. Woo, I know about shit like, the popular anal ease. Everybody know about that. Other type of different ointments and joints that people use for sex. But I didn't know about Astroglide. But anyway, Maya said she brought his Astroglide and candles. Some of them cheap Glade candles without the label on them. They had to be white. What else would you bring to the hotel? Anything he forgot at the house, like food and money. How much? Maya said like thousands of dollars. Do you remember seeing Cassie? Yes, at the London Hotel, New York. I bought something to the room. Cassie opened the door. She was wearing a bright blue wig. How did she appear? Maya said like she was struggling. And I asked, are you good? And Cassie closed the door. The government says, who told you to clean the rooms? Maya says, Puff and the office. It was standard to sweep the room so no housekeeper can sell something to TMZ. And how were the rooms? Destroyed. We done heard that many times, y'all, on the stand. People said Diddy would destroy them damn rooms. Candle wax everywhere. Maya also said candle wax everywhere. She said, I seen broken glass, sometimes blood, oil on the walls. And they talking about that baby oil. Man, can you imagine the cleaning crew every time he left a hotel? But yeah, I can believe that people would try to, because it happened before. TMZ or somebody like that, they would get their hands on something. Somebody easily sell it to them for some money. Pictures of, some shit left behind. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me see what y'all saying. You said those sessions happen weekly too. Oh yeah, 4 days a week. Cassie said up to 4 days a week. Usually 4 days a week. You cannot make this up. I mean, the amount of baby oil and Astroglide they went through. The baby oil alone, but Astroglide, and people say it's crazy how Diddy don't own like 99% of Johnson & Johnson. Is it even by Johnson & Johnson anymore? I don't know. I ain't bought baby oil and shit. Mm-mm. And when I did buy it, it was usually for a baby. Okay. So their government says, what would Diddy tell you about the blood? Maya says that it was period blood. Ooh. And then the government said, what happened to Kat? Oh, yeah, remember, he made her have sex on her period. So I don't know if that's really from that or if he bust her head to the white meat again. But the government says, what happened in Cassie's car in L.A.? Maya says, Cass got a call, then told me he wants to do a hotel night. I don't want to. And she got sick. The attorney says, after the hotel night? And Maya said, man down. The government says, what do you mean? Maya says, they stayed in the room sleeping, only up to eat. The government says, did you do drugs before you worked for Diddy? Maya says, nope. And after? Maya says, yes, MDMA, which is a Molly. Puff gave it to me. He said that I was now part of the Breakfast Club. What did he mean by that? Maya says, like the Cool Club. He says his MDMA was pure. I felt like I was now a friend hanging out and I could enjoy myself. Did you take ketamine? Yes, at Burning Man. We were partying on a tour bus. We had the blackout shades down. Maya says he had the drugs on plates. I tried to say no. Well, what happened? Puff wouldn't let it go. It turned a little more serious that I was going to mess up the whole vibe. I tried to fake take it, but he got close to my face and humiliated me. How? He separated out a dose and made me snort it. I didn't want to fall into the K-hole. I seen a person that looked like an exorcism. And the government says, did you want to take the ketamine? Maya says, I didn't feel like I had a choice. The government says, did he take drugs while working? He was always working. Once on the way to Chelsea Handler. How did Diddy treat you? Maya says, sometimes like my best friend and working partner, sometimes I was a worthless piece of crap. And how would he compliment you? Like my work, he'd give me life advice. And to tell you you were worthless? Maya says, long extended rants about how incompetent and stupid I was, threatening my job. Anything physical? Yes. Throwing things at me? Did he talk about jobs for you? Yes. Before Revolt Films, he talked about other companies. I told him I wanted to create and develop TV shows, especially comedy. He said that's what he wanted to do too. Then he take away my credits. What did he throw at you? A bowl of spaghetti, turkey meat, a computer, a phone. Like your mama, anything they could get in their hand and within reach. A computer though. So the government said, let's talk about the spaghetti. What did he tell you to do? Hold on, let me take a drink. Okay, throat getting dry. All right, so what did he throw at you? Okay, spaghetti, turkey meat, computer, phone. Okay, let's talk about the spaghetti. What did he tell you to do? Maya says to go get people, but I needed to change my tampon. He yelled, yo, girl, I said, do it now. Maya said, blood was, oh. Y'all know I read this shit in front of y'all, right? So anything that I'm shocked about or appalled is real time for me. I didn't see this coming. I'm sorry. Maya said, it was blood dripping down my leg. I said, I have to go change my tampon. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's guys probably in here that's like, oh, God, hood table, do you got to? But it's in the transcripts, you guys. We got to hear it. The government said, what did Diddy do? He threw his bowl of spaghetti at me, then said, get the fuck out of my house. He chased me out. I was barefoot. I hid in a bush, then to a hotel. What did HR tell you? That I was going to be suspended without pay. That's what Puff wanted. Where were you when he threw a computer at you? In a trailer. Swiss Beats was there. The Wi-Fi was broken, and I went to look into it. Maya said, I came back and said they were working on it. What did Diddy do? I said I should talk to Bill Gates if I had to. Then he threw his computer at my head. Hard. It just missed me. I ran and hid behind the luggage van. The government attorney says, how did you feel? I wondered, what did I do to make him like this to me? The government, did he hurt you? Turks and Caicos and at the revolt offices. Where were you at Turks? A hammock by my room. Puff dumped a bucket of ice on me, screaming. Then Puff took my phone. I didn't want him to see it. The team, we messaged about his moves. I didn't want him to see it, so I jumped on his back. And what did he do? He threw me back into the pool. And at Revolt TV, he was using my phone, and I didn't want him to see my message. Didn't we just talk about this earlier, how he would force people to let them see their phone? Because he didn't want nobody talking about him. Because he didn't want nobody saying that anything he was doing was wrong, which he knew was 90% of the shit he did was wrong. But yeah, he would like read their messages on their phones. So Maya said he was using my phone. I didn't want him to see my messages. Maybe I called him an asshole. I tried to get the phone back. He ran into the bathroom, then slammed the door on my arm repeatedly. The government said, any injuries? Maya said, yes, bruises. Did you see him later? Yes, at the studio. He told me he sent all my compromising photos to him, to his phone, in case I had stuff on him. Kind of like a bullying joke. And how did you take it? I had no photos, so I knew he was lying. The attorney says, did you see him later? Oh, we already read that. Okay, so what are these? Maya says, my emails with Tony and Shannon. I took Puff. I said Puff took my phone. I don't know when I'll get it back. Tony asked, what happened? I said, definitely an in person story. The government says, why? Maya said, I wouldn't put violence in writing. The government says, who is Matt? Maya says, Puff's engineer. At one time we dated. Then the government says, I have more, but the judge wanted to go to break. And for y'all who don't know who Matt is, let me pull his picture up right here. That's Matt. And that is one of Diddy's engineers. And I guess they dated. Yeah, Matt Testa. I guess they dated. But he did work on the dirty, he did work with him on the Diddy Dirty Money, Last Train to Paris. So he's a producer, director, writer, showrunner. He's produced and directed films and TVs for Netflix, National Geographic, Discovery, YouTube, PBS, FX. So he's done a lot of producing and engineering work, including for Bad Boy Entertainment. But if you look him up, you'll find him on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, okay? And he has a lot of music credits. So from what I read, he has a lot of music credits. But and again, he worked on Diddy's music too. So that's Matt Testa for the people who don't know who he is. Okay. So after the break, the judge said, let's take a break. After the break, they come back. Maya, of course, still on the stand. The government says, the sexual assaults, when did they occur? Maya says, when I was working for Puff. And where was the first time? The Plaza Hotel in New York for Puff's 40th birthday. Were you his personal assistant? Yes, I've been there only a few months. What rooms did Diddy rent out? The penthouse, the party guests, and celebrities there. What did Diddy do? He asked to speak to me in the kitchen. And what did he do? He had everyone else clear the room. What did he say? That we're going to be working closely together. And he poured us 2 shots of vodka, each for his birthday. And what did you do with the shot? I took them. They hit me hard. Usually I could take it easily. Maya said my eyes couldn't focus. His face was close. He put his arm up the side of my dress and he kissed me. Did you want him to? No. Were you able to say no? I was shocked. I froze. I didn't process what was happening. Maya said the next thing I knew, it was morning and I was in a chair in the penthouse. How hard you looked at him? Like an older adult? He was the boss, or he was like a king. The attorney says, what were your expectations? I thought it would never happen again, which was a huge accident. Were there other times he made you feel uncomfortable sexually? Maya says, yes. I had to carry bags to his room. Downstairs was Uncle Paulie. The attorney says, what did he say to you? Objection. The judge says grounds. Diddy's attorney says hearsay. The government attorney says for the effect and overruled. Is there somebody at my door? Really? Hold on, y'all. You too. Bye bye. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I was talking through my Ring camera. but it was a roofer. I told y'all the story the other day that I'm getting my roof done because we got a lot of hail damage from the storms that's been going on in our city. And so, when there's a lot of hail damage going on in neighborhoods or, things like that, the companies, the contractors, they be walking around. This is like the fourth roofing contractor that's done knocked on my door. So it was another roofing contractor trying to see if they could, look at my roof or try to, whatever. And so through my Ring camera, I told them I already got somebody out. Y'all know I was talking to contractors the other day. That's why I was late a few days ago. But yeah, so that's who it was at my door. So anyway, let me read some of your messages. Those sessions happen weekly too. You can't make this up. How do they remember so exactly? Are they prepped before getting on the stand? Yeah, I think they are prepped. Yeah, they interview them for months and months, and they say sometimes years. They say the prosecution gets like years and sometimes months to interview people and to get them prepared on the stand. Like when you watch TV shows or movies and you see the prosecution or the defense, working with the people and asking them, they be doing like mock court sessions, and they be like, asking questions that they know that the other the defense might ask, or yeah, they practice for a long time. And with a case like this, as high profile as this case is, they probably rehearsed and practiced and you know for a very, very long time. But keep in mind that also if they were keeping if they were documenting, it seems like a lot of times things were documented in phone records. So all you have to do to get phone records is get a subpoena and go to the telephone company. Like, have you ever, sometimes I'll go back, like, have you ever, like, let's say social media on YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook or IG. Have you ever went back and looked for a message or try to find someone? There's times I went back and I found messages all the way from 2017, 2018 in my inbox on like Facebook, or 2019, 2020. And I look back at the messages. I was like, what the hell was we talking about? What the? I'm like, damn, I forgot all about what the, you go back and you see all the things that you talk about. So I think, a lot of the stuff also comes from their maybe emails, text messages, things like that. Cause you can't never get rid of that shit. That's always going to be out there on somebody's damn hard drive when it comes to those damn or in the clouds or whatever they do these days. But yeah, that's what they say. I'm just going off of what I've been reading from a lot of what I read is from journalists, not bloggers. Like I told y'all last week, I don't do my commentary off of bloggers or other YouTubers. Not even when I do TV show reviews, because I don't want nobody to be like, "Oh, you sound like this person," or "You got this from there." Nope. When I research shit, I research the TV shows, news channels, journalists, things like that. I don't like to take secondhand information. I like to get my shit directly from the source. I've always been like that. But yeah, so if y'all ever told me to go watch this person or go watch that person, and I didn't, that's usually why. Because I'm just like, no, I like to give my own authentic, off the top commentary on shit. But yeah, so let's see. Maya said that was a big accident to think that she would never be attacked by Diddy again. And then the judge had overruled the hearsay. So Maya said, excuse me. Maya said, I brought the bags. He asked me to pull up something on his computer. He came and sat next to me, leaned over to me as if to put his face in the computer, like an uncomfortable way. How did you feel? I pretended I had to go to the bathroom. Where were you the next time Diddy sexually assaulted you? Maya says the Beverly Grove house. I was asleep on the bottom bunk. I wasn't allowed to lock the door. I woke up and there was this weight of a person on me. Who? It was Puff. It was so fast. He used one hand to get his pants undone. He put himself inside of me. You mean his penis inside of you? Maya said I just froze. How did you feel? Terrified and confused and ashamed and scared. How long? Very quick. But it felt like forever. But he wouldn't leave a job unfinished. Is that when it would end? Yes. And the next time, the Beverly Crest house. I was on his I was on his bedroom closet floor putting things in a bag. Then Puff was in the closet. Maya said he had his penis out and he grabbed my head and that's when she started crying on the stand. And I'm gonna take a drink of water here. Excuse me. She said I was on the floor putting some clothes away or something like that. Excuse me. And she said he had his penis already out. He grabbed my head and she starts to cry on the stand. And she said he put it in. The government says, Diddy took his penis out and put it in your mouth? Maya said, yes, I was frozen. I didn't do anything. And she starts crying on the stand. The attorney says, how did you feel? Maya says, like trash, scared, ashamed. How long did it last? It was very fast. Were there other sexual assaults? Yes. I have a dark feeling. One time we were flying on a private jet. Everyone was asleep. By the bathroom, there was a bed. I went by and he was standing right there. Maya said, I tried to make it about other people who might see or hear, and it didn't work. How did you feel? Helpless. I had lost some layer of protection. I wasn't safe. I was terrified. Do you remember what happened? Maya says no. The government says, was Cassie ever there? Maya said no. Did you ever want these sexual acts with Diddy? No. Did you ever tell him no? I couldn't tell him no about a sandwich or anything. Then he would know that I thought what he was doing was wrong. I didn't want to lose everything I worked so hard for. This was the only world I had anymore. What would happen to your job? I would never work in that industry again. And physically, that I'd be attacked and I didn't want to die. Maya says he threatened that he would tell Cass that I had something to do with it. And how does that make you feel? Desperate and trapped, worst, scary situation. I would have done anything. It was my fault. Did you tell anyone? Nope, I was going to die with this. Maya says, I would be humiliated, never work again. And who would do these things? Maya said, Puff and all of his people. This was way before social media and the hashtag Me Too. This was about confidentiality. And the attorney said, did others speak out? Maya said, Kayla Faulkner. Not sure of the spelling. The government said, how did you hear? Maya said, I heard there was an urgent call among film people. And what did you hear? The judge said, lay some context. The government said, who was on the call? Maya says, HR C-suite executives. What were you told? Maya said, if she's sued, I have to testify. Maya said, I was supposed to say she was drinking and punched me, and that's why she was fired. Was that why? Maya said, nope. It was because she complained. The attorney says, when else were you told you have to testify? Maya said, after Capricorn Clark. The attorney, did you have to testify? No. Why didn't you go to the police about Diddy sexually harassing you? I didn't even consider it. Did you have experience with police? Yes, I was speeding. One time I hadn't had time to get my license renewed. Maya said it was the only time I name dropped. I told her who I worked for, and she said, get him on the phone. I did, and she laughed. Oh, Puff Daddy, I love you. That's the cop. That's too funny. So, yeah, she was speeding and forgot to renew her license or whatever. And so the cop said, get Diddy on the phone. And that's when the cop said, oh, I love you. So anyway, the attorney said, did you get a ticket? Nope. The attorney said, why didn't you tell us at first about the sexual assaults? Maya said, it's the most shameful thing in my life. Did you get an attorney for this testimony? Yes. Did you speak about these sexual assaults before or after you got the lawyer? After. The attorney goes on, do you want to be talking about these sexual assaults? Maya said, no, it's traumatizing. Why are you here today? The judge said, Miss Miser, you asked that. The government says we could break here. Jurors, we'll see you tomorrow. So the jurors leave. Diddy's attorney comes up. The government sent us a letter at 11 p.m. last night about changes to the direct case. with fewer witnesses. It might make our case longer. The judge said, that's vague. Diddy's attorney said, I still see 4th of July. And the judge says adjourn. So the prosecution said they may have less witnesses, which would make the defense case longer. That I don't know how. If the prosecution has less witnesses, how does it make the defense case longer? I don't know. I don't know. So if y'all know anything about that, fill me in, because I'm not no attorney. I'm not no, when it comes to court and when it comes to, I try to stay away from court. After my younger days, I try to stay away from court. But so I don't know anything about that. But somebody said something isn't adding up about her story. She won't tell the cops, tells the lawyer, but nothing happened. Then she doesn't even tell Cassie. And somebody said it sounds like her and Puff was in some type of entanglement. Did y'all hear entanglement? And did y'all hear overusing, abusing of power? I don't know. But then somebody else said cross-examination is going to tear her ass apart. And talking about she sucked that man's dick because she just wanted to be like the rest of them. But that's how a lot of people feel. And it's not just for the Diddy case. A lot of people feel in situations where women don't speak up, they don't report, they don't go to police, they don't quit their jobs, or they don't leave a situation, is because it didn't happen the way they said it did. Because just like with Kelly and the Bill Cosbys and the Harveys and the Epsteins, and I mean, we could go all the way back to the damn 80s. Okay. But those are like popular names that a lot of y'all know. But yeah, people are like, oh, well, why'd you go to Bill Cosby house at 2 a.m. in the morning? Why do you think that he really wanted to interview you for a show at midnight? Why do you think, I heard abuse of power too. I heard it too. But that's what we got today, y'all. And she gonna be back on the stand tomorrow. She gonna be back on the stand tomorrow. And I feel for her in the situations that she was in. I really do. I feel for any woman who's put in that situation, whether it's your boss, whether it's a family member, whether it's a parent, or a guardian figure in your life, or a stranger. When you put in that situation, and it's like, you just don't walk up to people and stick your dick in their mouth. Like, my own man wouldn't just walk up to me and like, here, bitch, suck it. Like, no, I ain't no hoe. I ain't no prostitute. Shit, you better come at me correct. Shit. But anyway, even though I could probably come and sit on his face while he's watching football. But I don't know. It's just a way you do things, okay? It's just the way you do things. And when it's not your man, not your partner, and somebody just walks up to you and put their shit in your face, like, shit probably musty, nasty, dried up balls. Like, that's just nasty. And it's nastier because of everything that he was involved in. It's like, you're nasty. You're nasty. I know Cassie went through a lot of stuff that some people feel like, oh, well, she could have left. But just look at all the people she has sex with in these free calls, and he's fucking behind them. That's nasty. The girl had incurable UTIs and always had sores in her mouth and was always in a lot of pain from all the sex and the infections. And you were fucking behind her. So I would have been like, nigga, if you don't get that nasty piece of sweaty, dusty ass, funky ass, dried up dick out of my face. But some people feel like I just couldn't say no. They were scared. Even his assistants were scared. His cooks were scared. Hell, the HR lady probably was scared. You know how much money she could have probably been working for Bad Boys? The HR could have been scared. Oh, I'm sure the HR didn't believe all that shit. Oh, they were insubordinate, especially when you hear about all the rumors going on in the company. Oh, well, the HR, you telling people to tell the doctor Cassie drunk and bumped her head. Like all the lies and the cover-ups in that whole organization. Shit, the HR and the people who didn't even work right in front of him or alongside him probably was scared. Lose their jobs if they spoke up. If they became a whistleblower. And the money, the status of working for somebody that powerful, that can ruin your whole life. To be more concerned about money and power and your paychecks and your lifestyle. It's like selling your soul to the devil. It's like selling your soul to the devil. You're selling your soul to the devil. I feel like okay, let's say he's not doing anything to you. I feel like you're selling your soul to the devil by enabling somebody or being complicit. Now, if somebody's doing something to you and you're scared, that's a different level. If you're scared of your life, threaten to shoot you, threaten to throw you in the river like they did with Capricorn, held Capricorn hostage for 5 days, making her take lie detector test. And there's all kind of different bullshit that he did. Blowing up people's cars. When you see somebody do that much to people and you see this shit every day, I'd be scared too. But see, the way I'm built, I'll see something happen. Oh, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Nope. Nope. But one day this is gonna make a great movie. This is gonna make a great movie. I'm still trying to think who might play Diddy and Cassie and Kid Cudi and Capricorn and certain other people, certain other characters. Maya. Let's not forget Gina, the side piece, the one he paid to get rid of both of her babies. Child, people who gonna play Biggie, who gonna play Lil Kim, who gonna play Pop, who gonna they gonna have to introduce a lot of characters when they do make this movie about Diddy, because it's coming. It's coming. I don't know if it's gonna be on Netflix. Well, Netflix will probably do it because they're the best. Netflix used to suck at doing biopics. They used to suck. But over the years, they done got much, much better after a lot of us complain, especially when we complain about them doing biopics of us, of our culture, shit that happened in our culture. So, yeah, but Netflix has got a lot better. Mm-hmm. May I or a loved one never know that kind of fear. And I do have loved ones that have had predicaments or been in situations where they were in an abusive relationship. And I have always been that family member. Why, girl? Why? Fuck that shit. Leave his ass. You can do better by your damn self. Da, 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 da. Grandma didn't taught you to have that, such and such. Auntie, we didn't raise us to get abused and kicked and dog walked by no nigga. Like, I was always the one. Okay, let's go put his shit out. Come on, let's do it. Like, anytime something happened with certain individuals that I'm close to, including friends, I didn't have people hide. This is real shit, okay? I had a one friend, and I ain't gonna say no names. They might still watch me, even though we ain't as cool as we used to be. But I had a friend that I was really close to. And the dude that she was in a relationship with was really abusive. I mean, really abusive. I done seen him be abusive to her and have tried to intervene many times. And the people around us was so used to it, like his family and stuff, they never intervened. I did once. And I was like, man, fuck that shit. I'm not putting my shit in those. I'm not about to get fucked up behind your ass. And you keep going back with this motherfucker time after time after time. They was together for years. And so one time when they had fell out or whatever, she came over and brought me all the keys to all the vehicles. She brought me all the titles to the cars and all kind of shit. I was like, what the fuck you bringing me this shit for? She was like, please just hide it. Just please hide it. And I was like, why? She was like, because all the shit that all the cars, because I guess the guy she was with, he didn't have a license. He couldn't even drive. He wasn't permitted to drive. Okay. So his cars she had in her name because he would buy cars, but put them in her name and he would drive them even though he wasn't supposed to be driving. So he was threatening to take all the cars and he was threatening to do this and do that and ramshacking her house. And she was like, here, hide this shit, hide this shit. That was just one particular incident. I have another time when a friend came to me because their man was on drugs, like real hard drugs, and they wanted me to keep their money left over from their paychecks after they paid their bills. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? Please, please, please. He would tear the house up. He will go through my purse. He will rip out the couches. He'll do anything looking for my money. So she would pay her bills as soon as she got paid. And then she would bring me the rest of her paycheck, put it in the envelope, and I just put it in my house. Then every time she needed a little money, she would stop by and grab some money out the envelope. I mean, I have friends and family members who went through fuck shit like that, and I could never understand it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I wish a motherfucker would. See, and then on top of that, I stay strapped too. Shit, I will shoot you in your pinky toe. Nope. But anyway, I was raised in a house that had drama. I was raised in a family that has drama. I still have, hell, I just got a cousin who was sent to the pen. He got like 60, 75 years. Same cousin who pulled a gun on somebody else last year that's in our family. So I'm not like no different from other people's families who have drama. People have feuds and fights and disagreements. They, things like that. I'm no different from anybody else. So I know people who have went through those situations in abusive relationships. I'll never understand it. I just won't. You look at me crazy in the beginning part of our relationship, talk to me crazy. It's a whole wrap. Like, it's a whole wrap. I truly believe in that. I can do bad by my damn self. I truly believe in that shit. I will go to the grave single, alone, never married, before I settle for somebody to knock me aside my head. Nope. Hey, what's up, QI? You said 50 Cent is already working on the Diddy movie. Yes. Oh, shit. Yes, he is. You said my college roommate was being abused by her boyfriend right on campus. We had to save her all the time. That's how it was for one of my family members, too. And I mean, I'm talking 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Phone calls, ring, ring, ring. Like, y'all know how some families are. You get one phone call, that person called this person. That next thing you know, it's everybody up in the middle of the night in their pajamas, trying to get somebody off somebody, put their shit out. And then what happens a couple of days or a week later? That nigga back in the house. Just a cycle. Just a cycle. And it is hard. It can be hard. Just like people don't feel sorry for these celebrities or these people who's with these celebrities. It's the same way just in the hood. Just in a regular circle of family or friends. Like, some people just get tired of feeling sorry. Or they be like, fuck that shit. You like it. I love it. Carry the fuck on. Right? You said child too. Me too. Wouldn't be me. My daddy would kill about me. Almost went after my ex-husband. Child, I'm telling you, I told a story, and I won't go all into it, but I told a story how once upon a time, when I was very young, I had broke up with my dude, put him out of our house, found out he was cheating on me, and I put him out. Then next thing I know, a few months later, he break into the house, grab a butcher knife, and holds me hostage for hours while I'm kicking and screaming and yelling and getting battered and bruised. He throwing shit at me and got me hammed up by my throat and all kind of shit. It was an apartment, actually. And so neighbors happened to finally hear me screaming because it was in the middle of the night. And they called the cops. The cops came. They couldn't catch him. It was crazy. Then next thing I know, this motherfucker go to the military. And he find out, and the reason why he came back in the middle of the night, because he found out that I had a new man. And so years later, didn't hear from him again. And his ass calls me from London. Didn't recognize the number because it had like 25 numbers on the caller ID. And so finally, one time I answered because my brothers kept saying, this dude keeps calling with all these numbers on the phone, but they won't never say what they're calling for. And one time I happened to be home and my brothers was like, hey, that dude on the phone. And I picked up the phone thinking it's a bill collector, but all them damn numbers on the phone, it had to be overseas or somewhere, right? He was very obsessed. He found out that I had a baby. He found out I had a baby. He was in the military in London. We ain't talked for years. And he said, when I get home, because his mother was dying, and he said, when I get home, I'ma fuck you up, bitch. You know that baby should have been my baby. I mean, he was going off. Now, it was a couple years before when he put his hands on me, right? Next day, I filed a restraining order, whoop, 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 get my locks changed. I eventually moved. They let me break my lease because of that. And a couple years passed. I met somebody else, got pregnant, had a baby, ain't heard from this motherfucker. And then all of a sudden, he calls me and say he's coming back home to bury his mama. And oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna stop by the house and fuck you up. Child, I'm telling you, I had everybody staying with me for weeks. For weeks on weeks. Like, yeah, let this my brothers, my cousins, my dad even said, do you want this pistol? I said, no, daddy, I don't need no pistols. That these niggas got pistols. I don't need no pistol. So yeah, they basically was my bodyguard, my security detail team until that motherfucker went back to London. So yeah, he probably drove around my house. Probably. I don't know. I never saw him. But it was a threat and I took it seriously. You said, where is he now? Oh, he had moved when he got back from overseas. He had moved to, I think, Texas. I think he had moved to Texas. And then he had hit me up and it was on Facebook. And it was like 3-4 years after that. I mean, it was like years after that. And he hit me up on Facebook. I didn't send him a friend request. He tried to send me a friend request. But you know how you can send somebody a message and you don't even see it because you're not friends. And one day I was just going through my messages and that's how I found out that we could get messages from people we weren't friends with. But you know how Facebook like separates the messages. So I read the message and it said, we ain't talked in a while. I just want to apologize for whoop whoop. I wasn't in my right head, right mind, you know, all this kind of shit, right? And being, I never really think about the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So when he reached out years later, I was like, you know what? I'll never forget, but I forgive you. I never forget, you know, hey, it is what it is. But I'm not accepting your friend request. So I blocked his ass on social media. Yep, sure did. So that was the end of that. And I've never heard from him since. And I even heard that he finally moved back to our city. Somebody had told me a couple years back he was working at Costco out west. And I was like, they was like, you're not worried? You're not concerned? I'm like, nope. Because I got me a whole pistol that I bought years ago. I got me a concealed weapon license. So anybody who run up and get done up, and just like a Discover card, American Express, I don't leave home without it. Shit. So yeah, he can try it if he want to. Run up and get done up, homeboy. That's for real. Mm-hmm. But yep. So I don't know if he's still crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, matter of fact, a funny thing is, well, not funny, but it was funny to me at the time. One day I just happened to be watching the news, and I guess that was around the time he moved back to the city. This was years ago. And I saw his name on the damn TV because this motherfucker was in a high-speed chase with some white girl. And it said something like drugs was found in the car. I can't remember if it was meth. It was something that was found in the car when they finally caught up with them. But he was in a high-speed chase, and it was like meth, or I want to say meth, that was in the car. And he was with some white chick. I don't know. But when I saw that shit on the TV, people was calling me from out of town, people who had moved away. Man, we heard that such and such. I'm like, yeah, that was his ass on TV. I'm like, oh, so now he on drugs? Nope. So when you get a first inkling when your spidey senses go up that you think a motherfucker is crazy or psychotic or abusive, you let their asses go. I'd rather try to walk away in the beginning than trying to walk away later down the line after getting fucked up for years. Like, be bold in the beginning because it's a lot harder to be bold years and years later. Because that's when you get into that mental space where it's like, okay, he'll change. If I do things right, maybe it'll get better. You get to that point. And sometimes it's too late by then. They gotta end up shipping your ass out your house in a body bag. So yeah, I don't play with that abuse. Nope, 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 nope. And if I ever thought that they were abusing any female they was with, oh, there are certain things I told my sons I would disown them for, and I'm big serious about it. Like, for real, big serious about it, and that's one of them. If I ever find out you abusing, kicking some female's ass, like, oh no, I didn't raise you like that. There's certain things, fucking around with a kid, being an abusive person. Just there's certain things that I'm like, I don't want shit to do with you. Because if you can do something like that so bad to somebody else, what makes you think you can't do it to them? Like that boy who was sent to prison. Remember the story like a couple minutes ago? The boy who was, well, not the boy, the man who was sent to prison, and his mother supported him the whole time he was there for the fuck shit he was in prison for. And as soon as he got out, he killed his mama and his brother weeks after he got out. I don't want shit to do with your ass. Because I can't even look at you good in the face if you over there beating and kicking and stomping some female, and I didn't raise you like that, like, nigga, you crazy. And you got anger issues. And anybody who has anger issues or who is psychotic, they got something wrong up there. They got something wrong up there. And they might flip the script on you too. So my kids know. They know mama. Hey, I raised them. They know when I'm serious. They know when I'm playing. Shit. Man, I got some big boys. They ain't never blinked at me wrong. Lift a thumb, thump me on my forehead, nothing. They my bodyguards, my ride or dies for real. But hey, you don't never know what the future might hold. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, people show you who they are in the beginning. That's right, 400. People show you who they are in the beginning. You better believe them. Okay? You better. Your life might depend on it. Or the life of your children or somebody else that you care about might depend on it. But anyway, that's all I got today, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed my commentary on day 12 of the Diddy trial. The transcripts, it was a lot. Again, the last 3 or 4 days, it's been a lot to get through, but we managing, right? So make sure you please like and share the video. Thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate you guys for the super chat. Hey, in my Kelly Love voice. But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and supporting the channel. You guys, anybody going live later? 400, you going live later? Anybody? Because if you're going live later, I definitely want to pull up and support. But yeah, so other than that, let's see. Maya's going to be back on the stand tomorrow. I don't know who else is going to be back on the stand. Okay, you going live Sunday. Okay, that's what's up. You know I'll be there. All right. You said I'll follow 400. Yes, please follow 400. Please do. It be going down over there sometimes. I'd be like, ooh, they had me up there on the panel the other day. Ooh, it was fun. It was so fun. You know what? Ask Sislo. There's my girl Sislo. I don't join too many panels, right? I really don't. Unless I really fucks with you, right? So if I really like you or really fucks with you or your content, then I might hit your panel every now and then. But I don't go around just hitting the people panels. So yeah, they got me on there the other day. Soon as I drop down in the chat, the hood table, hit the link. Come on up the hood table, hit the link. I was like, these motherfuckers want me to hit the link. Shit, let me give you another drink real quick. But yeah. Sis, so you said you're going live? Okay, sis. You going live tonight? All right, bet. Y'all hit up Sislo too. That's my good friend. That's my sister from Amista. We go way back. We met on YouTube around the time when Kaya and Maddie, T.S. Madison was beefing around that time. If you from the B sector, you know about the Larry Nelson and Vegas Gate and so many things that had happened back in the Gap with TSCC and so many things back in the Gap. We met way back there. And so we've been cool. We've been friends ever since. Okay. So definitely support my sister. But she'll be live tonight. And if you want me on your panel, just let me know. It is only 6:36 p.m. here, so it's still early. Let me sis, you want to drop your link or you want me to drop it? And that's one thing about my moderators. My moderators know they can drop their links. Anytime. You can drop your damn link all through while I'm live if you want to. So moderators, as hard as some moderators work in people's chats and YouTube, unless you give them a gift or a Christmas gift or something for their birthday or something like that, YouTube don't pay to no moderators. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that, dropping your links. If you're a moderator and you moderate for somebody, you have a whole channel and that person doesn't support your channel, I wouldn't be moderating for them. That's real shit. But yeah, any moderator that I know of that has supporters who are there, any YouTubers that I know that I'm cool with, they got people with wrenches in their chat, they let them throw your link in. Sure. Push your YouTube. You going live? Yeah. Post a link. So that's how it should be too. These mods support you. You support their channels too. Especially if they're trying to grow. But yep. I'm going to see. Let me see. Oh, your hand's wet. Okay, I'll grab it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put some pippin in it. Okay. So. Oh, dang. I had to back out of the live. Hold on. Let me pull the live back up. Okay. Chat. All right. I got you, boo. Dropping it right now. All right, so I just dropped Sislo's chat. I said Sislo's chat. I just dropped her link. So yeah. All right, make sure you guys support. I don't know who. I know 400 has a channel. I know Sislo has a channel, but KJ, do you have a channel? I don't know if anybody else is in here. I know QI has a channel. I don't know about OG Jamal. I don't know about Just the Facts, Cosmic Girl. I don't know. If y'all have a channel, let me know. Please let me know. Because if y'all have channels, I definitely want to support y'all channels just like y'all support mine. But Sislo says she'll be live tonight, and I'm not sure what her topic is going to be tonight. But when she posts her video, I will share it on my community wall. Okay, KJ says just like to listen. Okay, boo. I just dropped 400s. Okay, KJ said, yeah, I wonder if Cosmic Girl has a channel too. Let me see. Okay, I'm on Cosmic Girl. Nope, Cosmic Girl only got 6 subscribers, so I don't think she has a channel. And I don't see any content on her channel, so I don't think she has one. Just the facts. Just the facts. I don't know if just the facts got a channel. Let me go to just the facts. Okay. Well, just the facts got some content on the channel. It's about 9, 10 years ago. Then I see one about 3 years ago. So I don't know if they make content like that. Some people have YouTube channels, but they just don't make content like that. They're not really, trying to grow it or whatever for one reason. Like you said, they might just like to listen, lurk, and engage. And that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. So I'm about to get off of here. I'll probably be on later with my sis, depending on if she goes live or not. But if you do, Sislo, I'll share it. Just send me the link and I'll share it on my community wall so people can join us over there. But other than that, you guys, especially if you're the replay gang, make sure you don't forget to like and share the video when you do the replay. And everybody in here, if you haven't done it already, on your way out, please like and share the video, please, and thank you very much. If you want to donate to the commentary, it's $, the hood table 402. And I got it across the bottom of the screen, the hood table 402. So go ahead and donate if you like. Hey, I will see you later. Tomorrow is going to be day 13. Maya's going to be wrapping up. So, and it's Friday, so they might get out early tomorrow. Who knows? The judge normally let people out early on Fridays or holiday weekends. So who knows? It might get out early. We might not have a lot to go through. But other than that, thank you so much for 100. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. As usual, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye. Good night, y'all. I holla.